Hey, what's up grinders? I am Zord and this is Gems of War. PvP week 17 of season 0 and we got a few new regions this week and the first one is Bay of Stars restricted by Blackhawk troops and weapons. So good news is that we have the ability to use Rupee Macaque, however there aren't very good builds for this region this week. We are fighting against Matthew and Matthew is using Mega War. Death Below trait has 8% chance to kill the last enemy on extra turns. This is really annoying. When you cast Rupee Macaque, it will explode 5 gems and can give some extra turns on the enemy when the turn is passed. So those matched extra turns have a 8% chance to kill your last enemy. Maybe we could tweak this a little bit for this enemy and do it this way. So if they kill our Scurvy Sea Dog, that's fine. If they kill our first mate Axe Lubber, that's fine as well. We can get the job done with Sycorax and Rupee Macaque. So yeah, Rupee Macaque deals AoE true damage and Sycorax can double a chosen color gem on the board and then create 3 more gems of that color. Also gives magic plus 1 life to all allies of that color. Impervious, as we are using Elementalist, we are immune to Frozen. So these two can loop pretty nicely, even against Elementalist. Let's go and try this team. So we want to get some extra turns to get our thing going, and let's just pray that we don't get killed by the Mega War trait. I would prefer greens to blue, but we have to convert blues to red now, and that's fine. Let's do that and get our Rupee Macaque going. Unfortunately, we're actually frozen on red, so that's a bummer, but that's fine. Let's go and try how we can fare with the Rupee cast. Not very well. Greens would be great, some extra turns would be great. I suppose we take this and get a barrier and a Rupee going. Let's do another cast over there. Mega War is gone, and now our Troll is going as well. Let's double up those browns. Do a cast over there, and this is a match. There. And the next one is Winter's Reach, restricted by Dwarf troops this week. We're fighting against Michael Martin, and they have a skull lineup, it seems. So, we are using one of these doomed pole armor weapons, these new ones. This is called Doomed Spade, and this deals magic plus 5 damage to the first 2 enemies and plus 2 per tempering level. If the weapon is maxed, you will deal plus 20 damage points more to the first 2 enemies. This weapon creates 2 brown gems for each brown ally and enemy. And as most of the dwarves are brown troops, for example, we have a 3 and the enemy has a 3 as well. We are going to generate 12, I think, yeah, 12 brown gems when we cast this weapon. Because most of the enemies usually use Elementalist, we bring Apothecary and her beard in. She transforms a selected mana color to brown and also cleanses all allies. That's very handy a spell against Elementalist. Lady Ironbird deals magic plus 6 damage to an enemy, and if the enemy's armor is weaker than hers, she will deal triple damage. This is pretty useful in order to get rid of some of the troops, for example King Highforge over here, or their hero, for example. When their armor is less than Lady Ironbird, in my case, she will deal almost 200 damage points with a single cast. And King Highforge gives 50% start to Dwarf allies and has a backup summon if we lose troops. Let's try this team. So you want to get your weapon going or Apothecary to generate mana to your weapon. I think we want to take this. Yeah, a blue match got our Apothecary going. Do we have a brown extra turn with the gems? I think we don't. I suppose we take that out then. Okay, now we can convert purples to brown. That's a nice match. And of course we want to take those extra turns to inflict the freeze and stun, and actually, well, stun won't do much to dwarves because most of them are immune to stun, but entangle and freeze helps. I think we could do a kill blow over there after this cast. Get rid of their hero. Okay, we are getting a little bit skull-poked over here. Let's keep spamming our weapon. Going good so far, and as the enemy enemies are going to die, you won't create that much green brown gems anymore, so we might lose our turn, but we can finish the fight with Lady Ironbird with the triple damage. There, it works pretty nicely in most fights. Moving on to Aidania with a brown restriction. So I'm just going to show my Stella team over here. Most of you probably have your favorite teams for these colored regions, and I preferred this one. You have to fight against Celerix, Wand of Stars and company, so we bring the Kraking. He will destroy all gems of chosen color, and all enemies of that color take magic plus 9 true damage and are mana drained, silenced and frozen. The silence is very handy against Wand of Stars. If you can get the Kraking going before their wand, you just pick the brown gems and everybody here is silenced, so they can't do much harm to you. We're using Soothsayer to get Wand of Stars going faster, and Stellaryx is our main damage dealer over here. So we find the purple gem, and we hope that the Row and Column don't have skulls at all. For example, we can't take this. So now we want to destroy this row to eliminate that extra turn for the enemy. This is a perfect, no skulls, wand is up. Then we just hope that we connect with the stars. And now we can silence the enemy with Kraking and then start spamming our Stellaryx. If we just get our turn back, we could do that. And that chain match. No, it isn't. Oh, Team Stella wasn't stunned yet. Alright, now it's a match. So this is what I prefer for the brown region. And then we go towards the ancient Khet, restricted by Khetar troops and seems to be a blood frenzy region today. Pretty much a skull-based teams for this region. As you can see, above his Bone Dragon, well, they are using Ferocious. Can be pretty lethal, I think, in this blood frenzy region. Anyway, this is our lineup. Yeah, I know, 2 Wrath Ammons. If you don't have 2, you could slap a Keeper of Souls, for example. It's pretty nice troop. Transforms all gems of a chosen color to skulls. And the thing here is that as we have to fight against Elementalists, like in this case, there is a risk that we are going to get entangled. Wrath Ammon is very good troop against Elementalist. This troop creates a mix of 24 purple gems and skulls, then gains 20 souls and cleanse all allies. Very, very nice spell. Wall of Bones, well, the bad news with this is that it doesn't have very high attack, but it's pretty handy that when we are using a double purple banner and an Anu metal, just a single purple gem match can get this troop up, and it will help to get your other troops up because it will gain magic plus 1 armor, and then all other allies gain 5 attack and 5 mana. A little bit of speed to already slow going teams. Of course, we are using Elementalist and we are using Tomblord's Crook. Pretty suicidal weapon, but as we are using Elementalist, when you get the Entangle in, this is pretty nice and handy and can cause some proper skull havoc. Weapon explodes magic plus 1 purple gems, then grants a random status effect to all Khetar allies, and then summon a Khetar troop. And when we are talking about Mayhem, this weapon has the Bone upgrade that creates a Bone Storm. Also, it has the Damned upgrade that curses the first enemy. So when you cast this weapon, you will curse their hero, who is, by the way, usually immune to stun because of the Fortitude talent, but as they are cursed, then we can stun them and they won't entangle us anymore. Let's go and try how we fare against Wench Killer in this Blood Frenzy battle. We want to get purple or extra turns, and in some cases take skulls as well. Of course we take... are we frozen? No. How did that happen? Okay, I dodged the snap freeze. It tried to inflict it on our hero, but as our hero has the insulated upgrade talent, that went to waste. Alright. Now we cast our The top enemy is also entangled, and as they are using up Wolfies, we don't have to worry about greens to skulls. Now we cast our wolf bones, we get our hero going, then we explode the purple gems on the board and hopefully get our Wrath-Amon going. And now we start with the Skull Mayhem. Hopefully we can loop. Not very well, it seems. I suppose we take that. Then we give mana to our hero and explode the board again. Get our Wrath-Amon going again and look at all those skulls that flow in the board. We just press buttons and hope good things happen. Yeah, still going. I suppose we could take that. Now we just try to get rid of the last enemy. This can take a little bit time because the attack is only 43 on Wall of Bones, but hey, it loops pretty nicely. There, right. And towards the Geheron, restricted by red troops this week, and also a Blood Frenzy region, and we are fighting against Big Grandee. 90 VP, I think we are going to enable Victory Talisman over here. Hopefully we can win this fight. So of course they're using Wand of Stars, Stella and Double Takshaka. Alright, so again we bring the silence in, not with the Kraking but with Merlion. This troop deals magic plus 2 damage to an enemy and a random enemy, then deals a double damage if the enemies are silenced, and then silence them. So what we can do now is that we are using Gimlet to get our Wand of Stars going a little bit faster, right? Then if we get Merlion up, we can silence their Wand of Stars and some another troop as well. These troops aren't that dangerous, but once they get a 1-star in, then it's usually a game over. So that is why we bring Merlion, and we want to really silence their hero, and then we can proceed with Stella casts. Because we can stun and freeze and entangle these troops over here, but if one gets a cast in, they will be blessed most likely, and then we can't do anything about them. Let's try. Greased brown or extra turns. Of course, we gotta check if our troops are frozen when taking extra turns. There's a very nice alignment, and our Stella isn't frozen, so we can take and convert those greens to brown. Right? Now we can try and hopefully we get an extra turn. We did. We can take that as well. And now we can silence their hero. Ta-da! Stella is silenced as well, and now as Takshakas are stunned, they won't create those wild cards, and this is pretty safe now. Couple or 3 casts in, and we should be in a good position. There, right. Silence is the key, my man. Broken Lands restricted by Hellcrag troops. I think this is the second time that we have to use Hellcrag troops, and we're fighting against S0-W17, Geheron Bugfudge, Woolblade, Daraski, Stone Panther. Okay, 3 good gargoyle gems. I think that's the thing over here. Create good gargoyle gems, explode them, and hope for good status effect. We bring Geheron as well. Duststorm, when my turn begins, it explodes gems, and then we are using Eternal Sentinel. This troop frees a random enemy, then creates 3 gargoyle gems and gains an extra turn. So pretty much the same thing. We freeze the enemies. Because we are using Geomancer class, we don't have the luxury of Elementalist third trade, so we bring the freeze with this way. And then we are using Daraski to get rid of the enemies, and we're using Obsidian Libram to generate mana and summon troop replacements if we lose some allies. And Geomancer class gives all construct allies a 50% start. And that's about it, I think. Stone Mastery of course helps, and Fortitude as well. So we gotta get our Taraski going before they get theirs. That's the thing over here in this region, I would say. We gotta get our Geheron going and generate the mana to our Taraski. There's a nice extra turn. I think we aren't frozen. Yeah. I think we have to... Yeah, we bring the freeze. Their hero is frozen. Then we take this. Okay, slow going. I think I'm going to... No, I do this. Right? Alright, then we go and explode the board. And our Charlie is going. We could take that extra turn. Alright, we aren't using elementals as well anyway. We kill Daraski. Then we explode the board. And now I think we want to get rid of their hero. Right, and we could cast Obsidian Libram. That way we get all the mana to Charlie. Cast over there. Now we cast our Zernobog and Charlie cast, and this is a match. Yeah, it's really all about getting your Charlie going before theirs. And the next region, Summer Isle, is restricted by Shentang troops. We are fighting against Patrick. So we are using Yao Guai build with the Turkish Emperor. First time I'm actually using this troop this week. This troop deals magical 6 damage to all enemies boosted by blessed allies. Boost ratio is times 4, okay, not very nice. But it also gives 3 to 10 mana to all other allies, and also has Lotus Blessing trait that has 50% chance to bless all allies when matching extra turns. That's pretty handy against all those elementalist enemies. Working Cobaltine Wand explodes red gems, grants a random status effect to all Shentang allies, and can summon Shentang troops. Working Elementalist class, and by the way, a good thing about this Cobaltine Wand, one of the better exploders in my opinion. It has the Enchanting trait, it also the Peaceful trait, aka Silence the first enemy. Can be a very nice upgrade at times. Also the Blessed causes random status, positive status effect on your hero. Right. Tuliao. You choose a color, and she will enchant all allies of that color and give 6 mana to them, boost by gems of that color. The boost ratio is 4 to 1. So if we pick green gem, all of our troops will be enchanted. Very useful troop. I used this in the Shentang underspire when that was a thing a few months ago. Anyway, let's go and try this team. So you wanna get extra turns and Tuliao going. Of course, your weapon going is also a pretty nice thing. But oh, a pet. No, I think we have an active pet going on, so it doesn't matter if that runs away. We do this. Then we do this. Then we pick green gem. Our troops are enchanted. I think we could do AoE damage over there. We don't have extra turn with Yao Guy, but that's fine. Let's do a cast over there and over there too. And well, that's a quick match. Yeah. Right. Got some pet food. I really need that though. Moving on to Maraji Expanse, restricted by Drifting Sounds troops this week. And weapons as well. Pretty annoying, really. We have to spam B, and there's Emerald button that explodes brown gems. And can summon Drifting Sounds troops. We're using Chronos for the third trade, pretty much mostly, but of course we can use his spell as well. I'm sure many of you used Chronos last week with the Journey event. We're using Elementalist, and let's go and try how we fare against B and Topaz Heart. Wanna pick greens, or reds, or blues, or extra turns, which we don't seem to have, I think. Yeah. Let's do that. We could do this. And then we pray that B connects. I suppose, alright, that was a very lucky extra turn. Their B is now stunned, so they can't be cleansed. Now we start the spamming process. That's about it. About this region, really. You just spam your B and hope that you loop. Of course, any extra turn will help, because the third rate from Chronos enchant all allies when I get an extra turn. Let's explode those brown gems and generate mana to B that way. That yellow storm that Topaz Hearts conjures at the start of the fight is pretty annoying, to be fair. But this is a match anytime now. There. Let me know in the comments if you have a handy Drifting Sands team lineup for this week. And moving on to the last region this week, Southwild, restricted by green troops. And the same thing as with the brown and red, we mostly have to fight, usually, well, Seems that we have to fight against B teams today, but really, they are bringing the Stellarex and Wand combos in the high level battles, so we want to really silence their Wand. Actually, we want to silence these troops as well. String Fiddler, very handy troop. Silence an enemy, explodes some gems, and gains extra turn if your String Fiddler isn't frozen. Also, someone say leave storm at the start of the battle. That won't be the case because most of the enemies are using elementalist and they usually have a storm aura that creates a dust storm at the start of the battle. So we want to pick the brown to green banner because the dust storm brings more brown gems than green gems. Right. Leprechaun gets things going, Wand generates mana to our String Fiddler and Stellarex. Once dangerous enemies are silenced, we can proceed with Stellarex. Let's try. Double B is pretty annoying because you have to stun both of the bees in order to keep the negative status effect on the enemies. I think we don't have any extra turn, so let's just explode the board. Okay, wow, now this is not nice. Even if we are blessed, Essence of Evil will first curse us and then can shut us down. So, luckily we managed to keep our turn and now we can silence their EOE. However, the thing is that their other B over there is still not stunned, so they can cleanse with extra turns. Should we maybe try to keep our turn and try to get the stun in this way? Wow, this is amazing really. Where's the stun? I think I'm not matching extra turns, I'm just getting the extra turn because String Fiddler is gobbling. Oh, I suppose I just go with Stella and hope I keep our turn. Woo, okay. Yeah, that's a match. Right. Alright, hey. That's the teams I'm going to use, most likely. Sometimes I tweak these teams along the week, but I suppose those could work some way fine. Right. Hey, the usual stuff. Comment, like, subscribe. Has us off. Peace out.